Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I mean, we aren't too worried about the result of this, at least for Sigma. Sigma's just really looking to try to drop his average as much as he can right here, or keep it pretty similar to what it is now. But for Icex, I mean, he's looking at really trying to get the best time he can here, and he's been showing us some pretty good play so far, and I think we'll see more of it today.
The bracket standings, because as mentioned, of course, at the end of the group stage of this tournament, everyone is going to advance, but you're going to, based on your group position, you're going to be seeded into a certain segment of the bracket, and your placement is going to be determined by your average time. And so, as you just mentioned, both of these runners are really going to be looking to improve that, and I think we've been talking recently, you'll agree that there's a lot of potential for movement still, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, there's not only within kind of the middle of the pack, but there's still potential for movement up in the top seedings. So since we have 9 groups, there's going to be every first seed will be ranked 1 through 9th out of the groups. But even around the bottom half or so of that, there's a lot of wiggle room. And even Hydra and Sigma haven't finished their group stages yet. And Sigma will be wrapping his up with this run, I believe. And so, yeah, everyone's just trying to lock in the best average they can and hopefully not end up with some kind of disastrous run that'll mix things up.
Definitely. I'm sure that we're going to see the A game coming from Sigma today. And as for Icex, you know, it's kind of a wild card. You never know when someone's in that kind of 30, like the high 30 to low 40 range. You never know when they're going to just break out and have that race that just blows everyone away. And so who knows, maybe we'll see that today, or on the other hand, we might see something a little bit less perfect.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty wild for sure. He's got a PB currently of a 38.11. And if I look at his stats real quick, his sum of best is actually exactly 2 minutes better than that, which I use as a pretty good indicator for a chance of a PB here.
Indeed. We do have both runners just getting started now, and they're going to be making their way as this race gets going. I don't see any color codes from either of the runners. I'm a little bit disappointed, I've got to say.
I don't know, man. Like, it's been a fun little thing, but when they're changing their colors every single time that you stop or something like that, it's sometimes hard to keep track of who's who.
Especially when they end up coming up with colors that you just cannot see against the background of the game.
It's the worst.
Both runners coming up to the Rhino fight, quote-unquote fight. No problems for either of them. Sigma taking a slight early lead, as it looked like Icex didn't quite have the optimal movement over the diving board, as I believe Grim calls it.
Yeah, on top of that, I think Sigma's prologue skip was just slightly better. I mean, that's something that we kind of like to joke is a big deal during all of our kind of just friendly online races. But it can, especially in a race situation where your timer's started for you by live split, it's very easy to accidentally lose a second for free on your prologue skip. So not anything that's like the biggest of deals, but not certainly something that you want to kick off the run with.
Agreed. And I think, you know, the amount of time doesn't matter in that case as much as the, you know, just the mental getting started on the right foot, or in that case, the wrong foot, as
exactly.
get messed up by the prologue skip. Both runners taking a damage there to that bramble on the ground, which it's actually a frame-perfect jump to get over it and land on the next platform. So they both went for it, didn't quite get it. Icex takes another damage from that slime, so he's going to already be at 1. He turns on his UI just to make sure that he is going to be good. He's going to play it a little bit safe here. He does pick up a health there, so that's good. In fact, it might have been 2.
I think he picked up a health and an energy, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, that does look like what it was there.
Because I saw 2 pickup animations from him. I mean, an energy is something you never want to pick up before a wall jump, but totally random. Sigma looks like he's getting through the damage boost just fine.
But Icex, unfortunately, was at 1 HP, took an extra damage boost from that slime, and he'd only collected 1 HP. And Sigma also taking a death.
Wow.
What is happening here?
I think Sigma didn't drop his save or something. That was really weird. I missed that in a moment because I saw him get to near the keystone and thought he was good. He either didn't drop his save in time or like got hit by a randomly wild slime shot or something on the way down.
Well, they're both making their way back up here. Sigma's a little bit behind. His death came a little later. He takes a damage boost from that slime. I missed his current health count. Icex able to avoid that slime this time. He is going to take the second damage boost, but gets repelled. He manages to get through it. Sigma is able to take the boost. So Sigma very slightly behind as Icex pulls off his Ghost Door, and Sigma as well, but definitely a pretty minor deficit. I'm not sure either of these runners is going to be watching the other right now.
Yeah, I don't think either of them will be. I know Sigma likes to kind of just channel and focus all of his attention on his run during these races. I do know that we have some new secret tech to look out for from Sigma, but we're not going to be worrying about that until about Sorrow Pass. So I know he's been practicing that like crazy, but maybe he should have been sticking to practicing Glades. I don't know. For that day.
I guess both runners, as a result, they might not realize that the other runner also died, so they might both be thinking, kind of panicking and kind of clutching the keyboard or the controller, as it were, slightly harder. I'm actually so Icex, is Icex a controller player or a keyboard player?
Let me double check for you. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's controller, but let me go ahead and double check. Meanwhile, yeah, I want to mention, like, we were expecting several wall jump deaths in this tournament, in this early group stage, and we really haven't gotten very many at all. There have only been a few, and Icex is controller. I've gotten confirmation on that, and yeah, it's it's kind of surprising and not surprising, I think, to see two wall jump deaths in the same race.
Yeah, I mean, we've only gotten a handful, as you mentioned. One of them actually was in my first race, and that was me. And it seems that we're getting most of these wall jump deaths are coming from places we wouldn't really expect them. Sigma to die on the wall jump segment is really surprising. Yeah. That's not at all expected.
Not something I would have put on the Vegas odds there.
They're both making their way back up from wall jump. Icex having a little trouble with the slime there. It looked like he didn't quite get the level up he wanted. He might have leveled up away from the wall on the way down.
Yeah, Sigma, I think he took a really late level up or something.
Yeah, that'll always get you, is that level up explosion only affects the area of the screen captured by the camera. So if you happen to run and put something off screen, it's not going to get killed by the level up explosion. And that seemed to have troubled Icex a little bit.
Yeah, and it's not something that you see very often, so it's certainly understandable to make that kind of mistake. You got to really keep good track of your EXP count in this early game, especially if you are expecting to level up on the way in and don't, or are expecting to and never really have problems with it, and suddenly you're leveling up late. It's one of those things that it just takes a lot of experience, I think, and Sigma clearly having the better job with that.
Indeed. Both runners coming to their save anywheres. It looks like Sigma's XP count is a little low. I think he's going to be able to manage that by killing an extra slime inside Blackroot Burrows. And you can technically do that without losing time or missing a cycle, as long as you get the quickest possible kill on that. Icex, meanwhile, is a little bit closer to his level, so he should be able to make do with the normal 2 slimes.
Yeah, Icex looked perfectly fine. I mean, Sigma could potentially also, if he didn't want to kill a slime, he didn't feel comfortable with it, that there is a 15 experience orb he could pick up on his way to Frankie Walk. But knowing Sigma, he'll just kill the 3rd slime. I think he's done it plenty of times, and we'll be seeing it right here if he does.
There it is.
Yep, so he's going to be trying to make... Yeah, he did take the damage, but he's going to be trying to make the same cycle, the same overall BRB cycle. So even the fact that he had to pause and wait there for a moment hopefully won't actually lose him time in the long run.
It might come down to that. No, it looks like he's still going to be able to make it. He got hauled up by the laser, but he still was able to make the overall cycle that he wanted. Icex appears to also be getting the good cycle here, so no problem for both of them on the cycles in Blackroot Burrows.
Yeah, looking great so far. It's kind of funny that neither of them were able to really take advantage of the wall jump death, because it's normally the kind of thing you would be really excited about if you knew your opponent was doing it. I wonder if we'll be seeing any kinds of YOLO strats out of either of them now that they've, as you mentioned, both had that death and probably don't know that the other one did.
Well, if we see Sigma get really crazy, he did have 42 XP to level up, and that is actually a good amount to do fast Frankie Walk, but he did also take all 3 slimes worth of XP, so that's actually out of reach now. But he could have gone for that. It looks like he definitely won't. And Icex, of course, would almost certainly not even try for that. I'm sure he's never even practiced it, let alone been able to pull it off.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually assume either of them to go for that, but I think Sigma's probably going to keep playing it safe. and do the same kind of strats he's been doing in all of his practice and all of his tournament runs. But Icex, knowing that he's, the underdog in this match, he might try to pull out something that he's not necessarily super comfortable with. I'm not sure if he goes for early Grotto Cycle, but I can check on that. And if it's something it actually is something he does normally go for according to his questionnaire response, but maybe now he'll be especially hoping he gets it and looking really hard at that.
Yeah, I think Sigma probably won't be gripping his keyboard too tightly. He knows that that's a dumb death that he didn't really want to take, but at the same time, he also knows that his opponent's Icex, and he has to feel very confident that he can beat Icex, 99 times out of 100. No knock on Icex whatsoever. It's just there's a very significant skill gap, and I think both runners are going to understand that. So I don't think we'll see anything especially crazy out of Icex either trying to, make a crazy play in order to catch up and tie up the race or anything like that. I think he'll just play within himself, and we'll see.
Yeah, and again, we mentioned it's probably not going to happen from Sigma, but Sigma is now closer to the run that made his average slightly worse, right? The worst run he's had out of his tournament matches so far. So he may be trying to really improve that average as much as he can. Hydra's right on his tail when it comes to the race average, and it's definitely something that he's got to be worried about.
Indeed. And he has made it through the Frankie Walk, and he's doing his Death Gauntlet now. No problem here whatsoever. Goes under that first Crusher and jumps up on the second one. You didn't get the extremely uncommon, seemingly random death where you die from on top of the Crusher, so that's nice. And he picks up his energy cell, drops his backup save, and he's actually at full health, so he got some very good HP drops there, and we'll see how he does on the early Grotto Cycle. Very
nicely done from him. It looks like Icex is probably a bit lower health. I couldn't quite tell what drops he got, but I think he actually took 3 hits from the water, so he may have to play a bit more safe now, or at least I hope he checked and made sure he knows what health he's at. And he also gets the cycle.
Also get the Grotto Cycle. Fantastic job from both runners. Sigma has moved on to his Ghost Door, and he pulled that off no problem. Icex does appear to only be at 2 health. He takes the damage there, so he's setting up his Ghost Door at 1 HP, which is, of course, always very scary. This entire section leading down to Double Jump filled with spikes.
So both of them actually got that early Grotto Cycle, and they've both missed it in tournament matches so far. Icex actually missed it in both of his previous tournament matches, and Sigma only missed it once. So they must be really happy to get that right now. Sigma taking some unfortunate damage, though.
Indeed, those spike hitboxes are really awkward sometimes, and especially as you're making those jumps up, it can be easy to take a hit. Drops the safety save, going back through the unlock key door, which is a pretty common place to put one. It does not cost any time. You can just drop it as you're going. We'll see if Icex opts to do so. He does go for the same one. It's a pretty standard strat. Sigma with a very quick Grotto skip. Nice job from him.
Yeah, nice first try from him. The average, I believe, for this tournament is a 2.1, so a little over 2 attempts on Grotto skip, and so Sigma's going to be liking to come under average there. Icex taking his attempt now. We'll see how he does.
He does get the good jump, and no problem from him. So very good execution by both of these runners so far, but what you're seeing already is Sigma's just pulling away bit by bit. His movement's just slightly crisper and slightly more optimized. Icex still having a very good run for himself, and we'll see how that's going when we get the updates from the boys in the truck, as it were.
Yeah, it looks like Icex is actually only 9 seconds behind his personal best at Double Jump. So he definitely has a big potential for PB here. Sigma, being a much lower time, is actually almost a minute behind himself already after the wall jump death. But that's something he's probably not going to be able to surmount, but it's not really something he was trying for in this race. He wasn't expecting a PB. He really just wants to get the lowest race time he can.
Indeed, and it will be, it would certainly not be unreasonable to say PB would be absolutely impossible for him at this point, taking that death to wall jump, but what he's going to be looking for is just, he could probably still come out with a mid to low 33, and if he does that, that still helps his average a little bit, enough where he has a decent chance, if Hydra has a bad third race, he has a decent chance of taking over the second seed in the bracket.
Yeah, definitely. I think he might be sitting at second seed right now.
I think he is, but Hydra's been on the uptick, and I think that's the thing that really concerns Sigma.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely worth being concerned about. I mean, Hydra did have a PB in one of his tournament matches, so totally something to be worried about.
Indeed. Both runners coming up to the Thornfell teleporter. Sigma just walking away from it, and Icex going in towards it. He was able to pull the block out and get the crouch dash through. Icex doing the same trick right now. No problem for him, as Sigma is now entering Ginso with a above 13-minute time, which is a little bit surprising to see Sigma, given that that early wall jump death put him into some territory time-wise that I guess he wouldn't necessarily be used to.
He still had a lot of clean play, though. He's actually gotten about I want to say, 24-second lead here over Icex already, out of just purely clean play. I mean, Icex got the same early Grotto cycle, so it's really just kind of the difference here from somebody who has practiced so much of the minor movement options in the game.
Yep, that is absolutely correct. As you're going to see in these first two rooms of Ginso, Sigma cleanly ascending, no problems for him, and he's been through these rooms quite a lot. Icex is going to take his turn on this block room with the Gamers, which of course are definitely from this game only. They are not from any other video game. He takes it a little more cautiously. He's not able to beat out the cycle of that second to last Gamer, which is a completely reasonable strat to take. It only saves around a second or two. And he's through as well. Sigma coming up on the mini boss pretty soon as he finishes the puzzle room here.
Yeah, and I think if I recall correctly, we're going to see some spammed shots from Sigma here on this mini boss. Yeah, there they are. I believe he binds his attack to the mouse wheel. Sigma does like having a lot of control over Ori put on his right hand on that mouse. And really what he's just trying to do here is get as many hits as possible in on this boss and try to look for the one frame tell that'll show you where the boss will spawn. And beautiful job from him.
Indeed, he was able to follow it very well, and he was able to get his 5 cycle, so very good time save there compared to waiting an extra cycle. It's on the order of 6 seconds each time you have to wait. Icex getting trolled a little bit by the spawns here, and he also looks like he didn't quite catch the tell. Sigma
Icex is a little low health. Sorry to interrupt you. I was a bit worried there for a moment. He hit some spikes and a shot from one of the mini boss shots, so he's sitting at either 1 or 2 health right now.
But he is able to finish the mini boss. We just don't want to see him drop into the spikes there, and he does not. So he gets his save down. Sigma has just picked up Bash, so he's well on his way. Gap widening bit by bit here, but Icex is still having a very solid run.
Yeah, until that mini boss, his Ginso was actually looking really, really nice. A lot better than some of his Grotto movements. So hopefully he can pull that back, not let the mini boss, worry him too much. I think for a lot of people, that boss is just kind of a wash. You just kind of got to accept what you get.
Yep. Ghost Aura going totally swimmingly for Icex as he comes into Bash. We'll get a quick update, but I believe he's making pretty good time now, isn't he? Yeah, that was pretty close to his PB. So I wonder if we'll see Icex be able to, kind of inch back towards his own PB, despite having that wall jump death, which is a crazy amount of time loss, to possibly still improve his time.
Yeah, definitely possible. I mean, he's having a little bit of trouble with dash glides, it seems. He just had a small mistake there that trying to close that gap. Sorry, excuse me, tripping over my words. But, I mean, hopefully he can just resolve that right now. He is on controller. It's as easy to trash up a dash glide as it is to trash a bash. So it's something hopefully we won't see too much from him this run.
Sigma has already finished the mini boss as Icex is working on his key dupe. So Sigma just rolling on through, picking up the pace, actually going even faster, it seems, than he already was. Getting trolled a little bit by that spider, but not a problem as he's able to make his way up. And he's setting up for his course.
Yeah, that was a nice double bash from Sigma there. I mean, it may potentially...
No, he got the half core skip.
Not what you want to see.
How is he going to follow up on this?
It looks Sigma like has run so many categories in this game that I mean, doing the right side is probably the correct option for him. For a lot of our runners, we might see them force a death and do the left side again. But Sigma knows he's run glitchless. He's, well, glitchless doesn't necessarily have to do this room.
Oh, he misses the shot redirect. This is not an easy strat, of course. Very
He
odd
got a
bash.
weird bash bug there.
But he's just trying to redirect this shot to break the wall to the left, and it's not the easiest thing in the world, as I know because I've run the 0 XP category. I think he got it this time.
Yeah.
He did. So he is good now. Icex is actually coming up to the core skip now. So if Icex is able to pull off core skip, that significantly narrows the deficit right now. He gets his shot to break the wall. He shoots the thing. Oh, he is no problem whatsoever. So now he's on the order of 15 seconds behind at most, maybe less.
Yeah, and this is certainly not something we expected to see here. We thought Sigma would be taking the lead early, fast, and just running away with it. I mean, he is still looking really good. It's just very minor things that have caused his large time losses here. But it's not something we want to keep seeing throughout the rest of the run from Sigma. I mean, maybe we do, because it'll give us a nice, exciting race to commentate, but not what he wants. Yeah, for
sure. Oh, taking a little damage in the escape there. He's going to make sure that he gets all the way through. He does not want to take a death in the escape, as I did earlier. That is not at all what you want here.
Ooh, little trouble with that wall jump, but looks like he's probably good now.
He's able to recover, no problem. Icex making his way through the escape as well, not too far behind. We will get...
to note, just to note, like, Sigma actually does need to remember that he took that damage in the escape, and knowing Sigma, he probably does, but he normally takes a damage boost on his way to stomp, and you don't get full healed after the water's cleaned. So he will really need to make sure that he remembers and adapts there. I can't imagine he'll forget, but it's something you could be worried about. There's the UI check, so he certainly knows now.
Yep. So Sigma, he's going to play it safe here, at least in the sense of not taking that damage boost, as Icex has made his way out of Ginso, and he's going to be falling close behind. But it might be a case of, you know, kind of the commentator's curse kind of thing, where as soon as I said something about how Sigma was just rolling along and starting to widen that gap, suddenly bad things befell him. So maybe I should just not talk about him.
I think it's when you and I are together, Bulgin. I think that's what happens. It happened in the GDQ hotfix race. It's probably us. But 19-second difference between the two right now, and Sigma taking just not as big of a lead as we would have been expecting.
Indeed. And I think that'll probably widen as we go, as you know, the late game sections and especially some of the harder tricks, but in particular, or in general, movement through some of those areas is going to set apart a runner like Sigma from a runner in the 38 range like Icex.
Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of very minor movement things you can do to improve your time up to double jump up through Ginso, but really Swamp is where I think your cleanest movement starts to come out. It's really where it starts to show the most, and then especially after the Hollow Grove teleporter skip, cutscene skip, that is. I think that's where you can really start to look at who's dropping to the ground to use more dashes and who's staying in the air, playing it a bit safer and using more bash glides. That's the kinds of small things that'll quickly add up to seconds and then eventually minutes.
Indeed. Sigma right now having a little bit of trouble with his Kuro cutscene skip, but he does get it after he gets the frog into the right position. He is at a little bit low health. Maybe he might be a little bit scared about that, but I don't think we're going to see much of an effect of that on his play. And he is also going for the additional energy cell. And the terrifying exit strat and the damage boost.
Oh, wow.
And he survives. And he had 2 HP to start with there, and those spikes deal 1, and if you get the wrong boost off of them, you're going down to the spikes below that deal infinite damage, and you're just dead.
I can't imagine that was a planned damage boost there. I think he actually just got a really clean bash and wall run, and got so much higher than he expected.
Sigma, I think he is going for the fast energy walk strat here, where he blew up that energy. He's going to...
No, he actually didn't pick it up.
He just shot it. I guess he just wanted to do some swag.
No, actually, you know what I think happened is I think he dashed past the tree and was still mashing the activate button, which is also Sign's attack. So kind of funny, trolling us a little bit there, making us think something interesting was coming out. But hey, Icex, in the meantime, missed the Kuro cutscene skip, but other than that, has looked okay. I don't believe he goes for 5 energy. I don't think we saw that, but I was watching Sigma shoot some energy during that time. So
indeed, Icex is only a couple seconds behind his PB right now. Sigma is far out of reach of his PB, so that's not going to happen. But he is making his way up here towards Kuro's Feather, and we're going to be seeing some fast stompless from him in the near future.
Yeah, definitely. And Sigma being the one who adapted some older strats, kind of discovered fast stompless for the all skills route, is really, really consistent at it. I mean, he's looked at it inside and out. He'll help other runners with it all the time. I'm not expecting a miss here, but it's certainly not something that couldn't happen.
Well, we're going to find out as he lines up his shot. Seems pretty confident. Shot looks pretty good. He drops back down. He's making his movement. Looks very solid. He has the ability cell, and he gets the shot. No problem for Sigma.
Yeah, beautifully done. Just basically putting on a clinic there of how to do that trick. I mean, that could just be the tutorial video right there. Just take his race run.
Just you know, you just go up there and you take this shot and you redirect it, and then you go back down, and then you get an ability cell, and then you get fast stompless. Easy trick.
Yeah. Now Sigma did actually miss it in his first race. That's something that the voices in our ears have just reminded me of. So maybe he was a bit more nervous than we were for him, but I'm sure he's glad that he got it either way. Icex not going for fast stompless as expected. He hasn't done it in either of his other 2 races.
Indeed. And that's a pretty reasonable decision, as it only saves around 16 seconds if you get it perfectly first try. Sigma is currently working on his Sorrow Bash. He is doing the good old double bash method, plus a charge dash off the bird to get in. No issues there. He's going to rocket jump up here, and we're going to see some fun stuff from Sigma now.
Yeah, in the meantime, Icex did take a safety save, so if I did miss it and he has a 5th energy, he won't have to save at the Spirit Well, but he's taking another safety save, which makes me think he does have 4 energy and will take a safety save at the well to refill it.
Well, he's definitely going to have to take at least one more save, as he didn't opt to level up Charge Dash at either of the 2 saves that he made. So he's definitely going to have to go to the Spirit Well anyway, and he'll probably level it up there. Sigma working on his Frog Juggle. This is going pretty well for him. He is very consistent at this particular trick, even though it seems to be rather difficult for a lot of runners. No problem getting the shot up there, and his rocket jump is good.
Yeah, and Sigma even used a full health frog, so he's going to be looking for some really clean movement at the top, which we already saw, and more clean movement on the way back down to try to skip another laser cycle. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, Icex taking his first attempt at Sorrow Bash.
He's going to collect the energy, make sure to rekindle that save. He is exiting game inexplicably. I'm not sure why.
I think he's doing this to reset the bird health, because he has accidentally charge dashed the left bird, which is the one that you'll generally use on controller.
Yeah, if you're
I don't think he did this time, but he might have been worried about it.
That's a
Sigma
good point.
Had some issues there.
Ooh. Oh,
there
goodness.
He gets through the lasers the second time. He did actually take a death once. But
laser, go ahead.
Just certainly not near as bad as what's happening to Icex right now, unfortunately. So not something he should be too worried about.
Oh, he is able to make it in, though. He did take a damage boost there, and he's opting to pick up the cell on the way in, so he's definitely going to take a safety save later on.
Now, I want to direct... I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to direct us to Sigma's screen. He told me before the match that he's going for some new fancy strats coming out of Sorrow, and he spent like 2 hours practicing this before the match, so I really want to watch. I think it might involve the kind of stair-stepping charge dash stomp cancels that I recently found, and here we go. I think this is where it's going to be. Wait, what? Sigma just picked up... Oh, okay. That was interesting. So Sigma opted not for a meteor kick and instead stomped down to the extra experience, picking it up and then using some fancy stomp canceled with stair stepping charge dashes to get into Misty quickly.
While I puzzle over whatever just happened there, Icex unfortunately took a death inside Sorrow before he got his save down. So he came all the way back out, and unfortunately this is probably going to spell the end for him as Sigma is making his way deep into Misty. He's just having trouble with those bash angles. This is the toughest part of Sorrow Bash in general, but also this 2-bird setup is just managing the angle of your bashes so that the birds end up in the right spots. This one looks a little bit better, and he is able to make it in there, but Sigma is already on his way to climb.
Yeah, this is where the gap is just getting unreal at this moment. I want to point out that I'm not sure Sigma meant to skip the meteor kick. on his way into Misty. I don't want to drag on it too long, but his energy count looked a bit odd, so it might have just been a bit of a flub, but there was definitely some fancy movement there from him, and something that maybe we'll start seeing out of some other runners if they choose to adopt it throughout the rest of the tournament.
I am not so sure about that.
Oh, and he does the meteor kick off the Froggy. Oh, Sigma, you made me so happy.
Goodness. He did the J-Hops meteor kick. That is...
It's faster
if you do
it right. If you do it right, it's faster. I love it. I'm so glad Sigma did it. He's taking a lot of damage now, though.
Yeah, that damage from that dropping slime, you never really want to take that. It's a big pain in the butt. Icex did get his save down near Froggy.
Sigma, no!
Oh, no! Sigma went back to climb as Icex also is having some problems with the frog, but he was able to recover it. He is now using the D-pad aim to just make sure he gets his frog directly up. Sigma taking another death. These are really surprising coming from Sigma. He's normally very consistent and fast at the same time at this section, and just having some little problems here.
Yeah, he just took some damage too. I think what happened is Sigma got... Oh no!
Oh, gosh!
I think Sigma just got very excited when he did everything really well on the first run through Misty, and then either missed the lantern or the mortar worm over in the big spike pit. And after that, now he's just kind of flailing all over the place trying to recover.
I think he's just decided that he is going to show off these strats one way or another. It does not matter to him how many deaths he takes. And, well, there's going to be a few of them.
There we go. Nice and fancy. That's the kind of thing I try to do, but I'm bad at.
I do recall him saying, which I think it was in the race chat, he said that he had about a 20% success rate with the fast strats he said he was going to be doing. He also skipped the ability cell. I just realized that he skipped the ability cell on the way out of Star Pass, and that must be why he took the extra 200 on the way down. So
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more experience grabs from him on the way out of Misty.
Given his current XP level, I'm gonna guess he won't need to do anything because he's gonna level up from the mini boss. Icex has just picked up Charge Jump, not to completely ignore him. He has picked up Charge Jump. He had a rough death coming out. This exit from Charge Jump is very challenging. Sigma, something bad happened to that Frankie, and he charge dashed directly into some spikes. We're gonna go for some slow strats here.
Sigma does know the backup, though. That's something that a lot of runners might not know about. Is that kind of path on the right side. And I actually, now that I think about it, when you mentioned leveling up off the mini-boss, that's something that Staffu did in my race with him the other day. So I'm actually wondering if Sigma caught it from that race, or if he actually just happened to improv it at the same time.
I like the use of the terminology "caught it" from that race, like it's an infection.
Well, I meant more of caught it as in saw it. But sure, that's one way to look at it too.
Sigma with a little bit.
Getting out.
Yes, he had a little bit of a dicey mini boss, but he is able to make his way out of Misty, and he'll be traipsing along to Light Burst. Icex managed to make it into Misty. He is making his way here pretty well, actually. He looks fairly confident in these strats. Unfortunately, he is several minutes behind his PB now, so it doesn't look like that's going to happen for either of them, of course. Sigma probably can't be too happy that his average time is going to go kind of to pot based on the results of this race.
You know what? I think if I'm Sigma, I'm just happy I got to show off some fancy swag, and we'll live with the average. It's fine. What's one seed? You know, it definitely doesn't mean everything. Except it kind of does.
Well, we'll see. But definitely third place, or third seed in the bracket. I think we'll probably still be fine for him. He'll have his pick of opponents to beat up on. So
I'm more mystified by the choice to skip that ability cell of all things, being one that is not very slow to get. However, I guess at that point, that's really the only one that you can skip that late into the run.
I guess the you know, the act of picking up that extra XP, even at the cost of the meteor kick, may not even be that big of a deal compared to, like, the ability cell takes, you know, several seconds to go out of your way and get, and the XP only takes several seconds to go out of your way and get. So that's all he had to do in order to be able to get that level up.
Yeah, I am also still wondering, at very nice movement, getting one cycle through that laser from Sigma, by the way, but I am still wondering if perhaps that meteor kick was not intended to be skipped.
Oh, goodness. The death for Sigma there, coming all the way back to Light Burst. Not opting to rekindle his save here either, which maybe he'll do the second time. Or he'll just go for it.
It's not too slow getting back up to that save, so, I mean, it's really not the worst decision not to rekindle it, but it also doesn't take very much time to rekindle it, and if you take another death like that...
Indeed. I mean, I think every runner has a run like this where they, know exactly what they want to do. They have the strats they want to do. They're consistent at the strats they want to do, but sometimes you just, I'm going to die like 4 or 5 times instead of showing off my consistency.
I think this is the kind of thing we were expecting to see out of Glades from every runner, and instead have really only seen from some runners kind of throughout the entire run. On top of that, it's something that you kind of almost just want to get out of the way during group stage when it doesn't quite matter as much, as opposed to in the bracket where it could end up potentially getting you eliminated.
Indeed. Icex was able to get through his mini-boss. Sigma is now finally on his way to Mount Horu, so victory almost certainly locked up for him. It looks like in his last race, Sigma was able to get a first try door warp. The average for the tournament, which has gone down a little bit in past days. It was a little bit higher before, but it's now down to 2.8 attempts for each door warp.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if... I don't know, it's kind of weird. I kind of see it going 50-50 here for Sigma. It could go either above or below the average. A lot of our newer runners have been the ones who have actually been bringing that average lower and lower every single race, and it's been driving all of the veterans nuts. So I don't know if that'll cause Sigma to really want to get first try here, or if he'll fall, victim to the same kind of problem.
Well, here goes his first attempt, so we're going to see. He is able to get it first try. Excellent job.
Yeah, nice job from Sigma. Icex, looking like he's having no trouble right now, is not going to go for the Yoka cycle.
He actually was trying. He was using the Trojan strat to get it, which just involves bashing off that Frankie to ensure it doesn't troll you at all.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I was wondering because his movement was very clean and certainly had a lot of time to get it, but unfortunately couldn't get it. It's not very big time loss, though, and Sigma, unless we see some real big slop on the fish strats, which I'm certain are coming up, he'll probably be taking the victory here.
You said you're certain that the fish strats are coming up, but it sounded like you meant you're certain that the slop is coming up, and actually would not be surprised in this race.
No. I think he'll manage to finish it out here with some basic fish strats. And he missed the double dash, so already not saving the time, but there he goes again.
He puts the fish out over the fire, and he gets his rocket jump, and charge dashes to victory.
That way, he almost charge dashed too soon, and had he bonked off in the wrong way, he would have hit the boulder and really had some trouble there.
At that point, but yeah, that would have been. Icex having some trouble with the boulder escape, and he does take the death, and he's back at Light Burst. That Indiana Jones boulder is not very kind. And
I'm liking the moves we saw the other day out of, I think it was Raziel, showed us the moves of going through all the crushers. I mean,
hey guys, remember that there's all this stuff over on the right side.
Yeah. From what I heard from Raz too, that was completely unintentional, but it worked out beautifully as a backup. And I mean, there is already the nice backup that we've seen from Trojan before of jumping onto the other side of the pillar, which Icex doesn't seem to know about, but he manages to get around it.
So he managed to do the backup, and he's not getting trolled too much by that slime now. Sigma's going to come in with a very low 37, so not quite the time he was looking for. But I'm sure he's pleased that he got to show off his new strats here.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely pleased about that, but this is bringing his average down a lot more than he was hoping for sure. I don't have an exact number for you, but at the moment, maybe we'll get that from our guys in the truck who are parked outside with no microphones, not mic'd up. So we're going to have to always be sitting here giving it to him.
Oh no! That laser just slightly trolling Icex. Oh man! He'll make his second attempt at getting to Mount Horu now. Sigma finished with a 37.05. It's very that is a very time. And Icex is going to be finishing his way to Mount Horu. Oh, I believe we have some stats from the truck guys on Door Warp here.
Oh yeah, we do. So Icex, while Sigma, had first try in his last race, and the average for the tournament is 2.8. Icex is kind of the one bringing up that average. His tournament high, or his highest door warp, which is the tournament highest, was 18 attempts. So we'll have to hope that we don't see that here. I'm hoping that Icex can kind of bookend it and get an 18 and a 1. We'll see right now as he takes his chance at it.
He's going to wait for that save. He's not going to pull a roost. He is going to load back in, and not quite first try. All right, let's see how many. Second try. Excellent. Nice. Very respectable.
Still coming in under the average there, so helping us out, Icex, after making the average a lot higher before.
Indeed. That's got to feel good, of course, when you're, already definitely losing a race. You obviously want to get that good feeling at the end to just say, like, I finished strong. And second try door warp is going to get. He's definitely going to get that for you.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he's quite going to come under. Yeah, he won't be coming under 40 minutes here, unfortunately. But I mean, we kind of joked about it, and we didn't expect this race to be a close one or anything. But Sigma got a 37.05, which is well within the potential for Icex to get in a PB attempt. So maybe not after that first wall jump, but it's kind of surprising that it was as close as it was, even though the final result didn't necessarily end up being super close.
Indeed. I mean, it's just a very unusual sequence of events to have seen in this race that we just honestly were not expecting. Icex does cross to the point where he'll be holding right. Looks like around a 40-50. But, that just kind of setting the tone at the beginning with the depths to wall jump, that's the kind of thing that just heralds a lot of potential spaghetti, because, when that happens, your mind space immediately goes to someplace weird, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, we've seen nerves hit our runners throughout this tournament for sure. And we've seen those who have been able to easily overcome the nerves too. So it's kind of surprising that we saw such high times from both runners. But maybe Sigma, maybe we were kind of, playing it wrong. Maybe he actually just got nervous after that wall jump death, and that led into a lot of the other mistakes.
Not to overlook the fact that Icex just trolled the audience a little bit by giving us a reprise of "Icex, get up!" And he was actually here this time to mash through the dialogue and hold right. So, oh goodness.
I do want to bring up we got our update from our awesome stats guys, and it looks like Sigma, who had an average race time before this race of a 33, I want to say 18. It was a very low 33. I might be wrong on the seconds. His new average is actually 34.39 after that race. So that's a very big hit he just took, over a minute 20 seconds, and not what he wanted to see. I know all he was trying to do was keep it close to his average in this race, but hey, at least we got some new tech out of it.
Indeed. And that does immediately put him behind Hydra as far as average race time goes. It doesn't put him behind anyone else, so he's still mostly locked into third seed at least. But Hydra, of course, now has Sigma's destiny in his hands, as he'll be able to, know exactly the mark that he needs to be able to get in order to make sure that he doesn't have his average go above that.
Yeah, and Hydra, I mean, he could get as bad as a 35 potentially, I think, and still end up behind Sigma. So Sigma's still looking at some okay odds, but definitely not where he wants to be right now, not where you expect it to be.
Indeed. And Icex, meanwhile, actually improving his tournament average just a little bit with this time. His previous race was 42, so he's able to bring that up just a little bit, which he'll certainly be happy with, at least that, even in a race where he died on wall jump, which is just always, I know we are emphasizing that a lot, but that death on wall jump, like when you hit that, you just feel so bad, and it just sets the tone for your whole run. And both of these runners they managed to at least pull something out of that. And for Sigma, it was showing us some new strats. And for Icex, it was actually coming in with a pretty decent, consistent time with his other run of the tournament so far.
Well, he's actually had 2 other runs, and this is better by
bad.
his next. Yeah, I think you were catching the average, or our average is incorrectly calculated or something. But I think this puts him at. Oh, actually, I might have been looking at the wrong row. So I'm just gonna not say what I was gonna say, just in case I'm wrong. I don't want to give anybody some false stats here. Okay, now I'll correct myself. This is still his fastest run of the tournament, which is what I wanted to say.
Right.
And it's by not too much, by about 25 seconds or so. So it's still, his fastest run of the tournament. Definitely something you want to see, and it's within only a few minutes of his PB. But I was looking at the wrong row for a moment and thought it was 4 minutes better than than his previous best run. So not quite going to be skewing the average that much, but this will be helping him out a little bit.
So this is the last race